What's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast for the purpose. Welcome back. It is Sunday night, and we're back for Sunday Night Live, where we come together every Sunday, of course, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we chop it up with our audience, our members, our community, and we talk about what's happening the previous week, what's on our minds, what we have going on for the future, and overall a good check-in. So thank y'all for coming in. If this is your first time in here, welcome. Wipe your feet off at the door. We prefer it if you take your shoes off, actually, and leave them right there. They'll be clean, they'll be safe. You have all your laces when you're ready to leave. And you can take them, that's fine. But when you come in here, we come in here with our pillars of respect, communication, and consistency. Everything Culture is a platform and a podcast that started almost 7 years ago. Our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we just started this thing on the pillars of, once again, respect, communication, and consistency, so we get to know each other, so we can love one another. That's the goal. And we need it so much more these days than ever. Hello, She Dope. How we doing, friend? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And how y'all been this week? We got a few topics for the night. We're going to be talking about, who do you believe is the best representation of America? Speaking of, as far as a celebrity, if you can think of a community figure, someone that's popular that we may know, who do you believe is the best representation of America? As far as, I'm gonna give y'all two different points. As far as being accurately the best representation, and who would you want to have the best representation, who you would like to step out and represent this country. Okay, we're going to be talking about biscuits and customer service tonight. If that confuses you, just stay tuned, keep listening. We'll break it down to you. Okay. And we're also going to be discussing Martin Luther King. What are we doing for this weekend? How are you celebrating? Are you celebrating? How are you remembering? And what are you doing to make the day great? But once again, y'all can make sure to tap the screen, leave a comment in the live, and share. We'd love to have that. But we're gonna start bringing our folks on TikTok and on StreamYard. I don't know, but you like the way this live is saying. What mode is it? They finally have YouTube, not YouTube. What is this called? They finally have TikTok Live for Mac. So the same setup I use when I'm doing my interviews, my cameras, and then my lights, I can use this for TikTok now as well. So yeah, I like it a lot. It is due time, baby. It's due time. But hold on, let me make sure I got this going in the comments. Once again, we are here. We got Jaya on the stage. Hey Jaya, how's it going, friend?
Hi, everything is good.
Yay, we love good. We love good. She dope. How you doing over there? We see the comments. Hello, Pinky. Man, if you need a tutorial, I got you. I'll walk you through it. Don't stress about it. We'll put you on. We'll put you on. Happy birthday to John Tay. Happy birthday to Toya. Happy birthday to Shalay. Happy birthday to, I know it's somebody else's birthday that I'm cool with. Listen, if I get on Facebook, if I don't wish you happy birthday on Facebook, that means I wasn't on Facebook. Okay. That's the only reason. That's how I remember everybody's birthday if I don't have it saved in my phone. Upcoming birthdays, I know I have my sister Angela. Shout out happy birthday to my aunt Brenda. We got a lot of January birthdays. What's going on? Is it Capricorn season? No, Capricorn season already passed. What season is it right here? Aquarius? Is this Aquarius right now? Hello, Dunk. Y'all help me out. I'll be forgetting. But happy birthday to all y'all. And we already we wished them happy birthday. But since today, we're just gonna say happy belated birthday to Martin Luther King Jr. God rest your soul. Hope you'll see in heaven. Rest in peace. Oh my God, what her name was right here. I just posted about her the other day. She just passed away this past week. You pick my brain a later time. Okay, well, I'm here for you. Thank y'all for sharing the live too. Tell your people about it. It's a good conversation happening tonight. If you can't make it, tell somebody else that can come in for it. Let me look at my threads to make sure I don't get the name correct. Make sure I get the name correct. She is the person who really started the bus boycott. Claudette Colvin. Thank you. Claudette Colvin. Rest in peace. She passed away this week. Thank you for your service. And I hope the Lord has your seat in heaven. Okay, sister. God bless you. All right. And God bless her family and her loved ones as well, too. But yeah. Hello, Ren. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, Jaya, how was your week?
My week was good.
I like good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pinky. Once again, my live visibility has been restricted. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal or reproduced content. This is in line with the TikTok section under our community guidelines. What are we talking about? This is me. Are y'all hearing something that I'm hearing? Is something popping up behind me that I'm not aware of? What is going on? They do this every single time I go on. Are you telling me TikTok? If you just don't want me here, just this, I will prefer if you just say that rather than you trying to gaslight me, man. Like that. That's wild work, man. That's wild work. What are you talking about? Like it's just me talking. I know, right? Why don't haters so mad? I do not understand. But yeah. Okay. What y'all want to hit on for? Y'all want to talk about the biscuits and customer service? Do y'all want to ask the question, the big point, who is the best representation of America? Okay. Who do y'all believe should represent America? Or y'all want to talk about like celebrating MLK? Shout out to Stevie Wonder too. We would not be celebrating this holiday if it wasn't for Stevie Wonder and the MLK estate. I will tell you that. So let me see. I'm gonna give y'all time to think. No responses, no quiet, nothing. Okay.
I said we could do the customer service.
Customer service. Okay. So went out this past week, had a good time. We've been at a lot of places this week and have had a great time everywhere we've been. And went to the spot called La Lucha. Good food out here in H, okay? And with to celebrate some family, a lot of good people out there. And I gotta ask, hold on, is somebody trying to do a co-host with me? Just checking. I may have missed it because this is new. If you want to jump up on here, you're more than welcome. If I miss it, this is a new thing, but send it again. I'll let you on up. But okay, let me ask. Have y'all ever gone out to eat with people that complain about their food? And to the point they want to return their food or they want a discount on their food or they just want to I understand when the food ain't coming out right, but they want their food a specific way. They're very, let's say, picky. Okay. I don't know. There's that I understand at times it's needed, but sometimes like, come on, really. But that's their prerogative. And once again, shout out to the people working in the service industry. I'm talking about to the point these people make a scene or make it uncomfortable for the people working there that you feel like you need to tip the server more. Like, y'all ever have that experience? Well, I've had it numerous times. I had some family members that's so much like that. And recently I had where we went out to eat and once again with some family and some friends, and it was like you're doing too much. You feel me? I'm gonna go call you Sir Nigel because that's what you got up there right now. Nigel's mother, but went out to eat. Let me paint it. Because I've seen this happen numerous times. I have an auntie that is like so wild with this. No matter what, I be forget we go out to eat for family events after holidays and stuff, and I be like, "Ugh, I remember why I don't like going out to eat with her. She's going to cause some type of ruckus or fuss every time. Every time. That's just who she is. Okay. But go to the spot, La Lucha. Shout out to H. They have some hidden biscuits. They biscuits on point. Okay. They biscuits are second to my grandmama biscuits. Okay. Y'all hear me? Y'all listening? And when I get there, everybody's trying to figure out what they want to eat and things of that nature. I already know what I'm getting. I'm getting these biscuits. I don't know what I'm gonna get for my main course, but I'm definitely gonna order a basket of biscuits. All right. Oh my God, you had a server cry because my family gave them a hard time. This lady didn't cry, but you can tell it ruined her. It threw her night off. Okay. And I don't listen. I won't get into the stuff because this everything culture. We'll talk about some things. Okay. So I order my biscuits, and another brother that was at the table, he ordered one biscuit. All right, one biscuit. And I was like, hey, I'm ordering these biscuits for everybody. Coming with 8 biscuits, everybody can have one. They can really, I may eat 2. I ain't gonna eat all these biscuits by myself, but cool. But he like, nah, I'm gonna get my biscuit. I respect that, brother. Do your thing. Cool. I ain't about to argue with no grown man. He just want to have his own biscuit and he want his independent biscuit. All right. So my biscuits come out maybe 10 minutes later, something like that, maybe 15. I'm passing these biscuit rounds like literally they're hotcakes. They were like, hey, everybody, oh man, we got a little jam with it. Buzzing biscuits down. Everybody's enjoying them. So these biscuits warm. They're not dry. They're damn near perfect. Okay. I'm like, hey man, go ahead and grab your biscuit. They are here now. Your biscuits ain't came out yet. Go ahead and get one of these. Like, nah. I'm waiting for my biscuit. I just feel verbatim, my biscuit just gonna be worth it. Even one of the other brothers at the table was like, hey man, how about you just get one of these biscuits? And when your biscuits come out, you just give them your biscuit to him. Y'all just swap biscuits. Simple stuff. And everything I'm saying, it's like I'm in a very playful mood. None of this is serious. We all chilling. We all having a good time, But 15 minutes later, he come out. His biscuits finally come out 15 minutes later. Okay. And when his biscuit come out, it's let's say my biscuits were, I ain't gonna say this color, but it was a little bit more on the light skinish. Okay. A little bit lighter, a little bit more buttery looking, a little yellowish. His biscuit is a little bit on my complexion. Not this, but a little this, it's brownish. It got a little dark brown, but it still look good. We didn't think nobody, but he like, oh no, why my biscuit don't look like his biscuits? Then the ladies got involved. Yeah. Why his biscuit his biscuits look burnt? I'm like, and the other half was like, them biscuits don't look burnt, they just look darker. Ain't nothing wrong with a darker biscuit. Nah, we want his biscuit to look like that. The server said, okay, took the biscuit back. Once again, I offered again. Hey, y'all can just have one of these biscuits. If y'all want a biscuit that look like this biscuit, have one that actually is the biscuit you're looking for. No. They got to do the right thing. So they talking. She come back with a biscuit that looked just like the last biscuit they brought out. Because they made them biscuits together. And all them biscuits going to be that color because they just made them. They're like, big scene, blah, like going back and forth with the server. And she's like, you know what? Go ahead and get your manager. The manager over a biscuit? But you know what? That's their prerogative. And, I'm chilling. Once again, all this stuff, I'm chilling. I'm no big deal. But I'm starting to see some other people around me feeling a little uncomfortable. Okay. And I'm trying to make light of the situation. But long story short, the server and I think either the manager or the server brought out 2 biscuits for them. 2 light-skinned biscuits. And they're like, yeah, these are the type of biscuits I want. Ate them and it was cool. But you can tell the whole vibe and the energy of that server has changed. Before she was bubbly, she was like enjoying it, but that threw her a whole night off. And some people may feel like, no, they should have brought, because the thing they were saying is it was about the consistency. All the biscuits need to be light skin. I'm just gonna call it light skin, lighter, fluffier looking, more appeasing. Not saying the brown, darker biscuit looked bad. It was the point. It should have all of them should look alike. And some of the people they were like, man, why I gotta be us? Me, I ain't gonna say it's always us. Okay. Have I been around other folks who've acted like that? No. But that was something that I was like, man, over some biscuits, it's not that serious. And thinking of a server, because not just that one moment, I've seen that happen in different scenarios where people have unpleasant experiences because people are, can I say, picky? And where do we what's the balance of having people to like how we treat our service? I used to say customer service was always one way, but in the work that I've done in my history, I've learned that customer service is a two-way street. We have to be responsible, even as the customer, to treat our service right too. They deserve respect as well. And understanding like how important is causing how important is the perfection you want for a biscuit or anything that you may be asking for is worth it the time or the vibe or the energy of the experience that we're having at the restaurant. That was just my thing about something that happened this week that was a little bit of my boring life. The closest thing I would come to drama, I would say that. But yeah. Y'all have any thoughts or suggestions and ideas on how we can make progress with this?
Well, my thought so far, based off of your story, I was always told since I was little, going to all you can eat buffets, restaurants, all that. Don't be mean, rude, disrespectful, anything. No, don't be negative to the person that is controlling your food. I think what should have happened, which really would have one not ruined that poor lady that was serving y'all's mood at the end of the y'all time there and all that, would have went with what you suggested. Hey, wait for your biscuit, you can take one of mine. They did all that off of the aesthetic of a biscuit because it didn't come out looking like the ones that was already delivered to the table. Like you said, if it was that big of a deal, they could have got one that was already there, so you would have had the one that you was looking for. I don't think, based off of what I heard, it was that deep enough for them to call the manager over to the table over that. I think as people, we also need to keep in mind that we don't know what other people, whether it's customer service based or just a random person, we don't know what they're going through, what they have to deal with, and stuff like that. Who's to say that whole situation wouldn't have been that person's 13th reason? I would rather, hey, I know you guys are busy, whatever. I'll take it. Whether it looks like the ones that was already at the table, how they supposed to look, I'm gonna just and say thank you at the end of the day.
Okay, okay, I feel that. But yeah, you don't know what people are going through. I just remember a time in my life when I was working customer service, and I was at what's that place I used to work at? What's the CVS pharmacy? That's what I was working. I was working the midnight shift, and a woman came in late, expressing she wanted something that was not on the shelf, but she assumed it was in the back. And she kept asking, "Can you go in the back and check?" And honestly, that would have been a little difficult for me to do because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. You're asking me to go and check something in the back, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's only two employees in this whole store, and we have five customers in and out. Yeah, and I'm working the front. That's not really at this time is feasible. And two, I'm telling her already the stocking would put it out if we had it. And it was something like real, it was nothing life or death. It was nothing that it had something, it was just being very selective on what they wanted. And me thinking back to this day, she probably was trying to set up where she can go and she probably trying to steal, me being more wiser these days. But she tried to act a fool in the store, arguing me, want to call my manager. I like, "Ma'am, 3 o'clock in the morning." Long story short, I ended up cussing her out. Like, I'm talking about like thoroughly. And I like I said me dealing with you ain't worth the type of check I'm getting here. And like, so it's like either you go, what you gonna do? You get somebody to come square up with me, or you could take this and you go. But whatever you asking for, you ain't getting it right now. You can come back and get it later, like I've been saying. But now you getting out because she was like she crossed her arms and want to get out of line. I said, "Man, you go get out this line." And after I finished speaking to her in a certain way, and I was stressed out. That was not the best time of my life. I ain't making excuses for my behavior. You feel me? I want to be clear about that. I usually strive having great customer service. But that was one of the moments. I ain't gonna say it was my 13th reason, but it wasn't the time for it right now. It was too late. It was too early in the morning, too late. I'm dealing with graduating college, paying bills, trying to look for a real job. I'm like, I got my degree. What am I doing working here again? But you never know what somebody's experiencing. And just because somebody really is not being lenient, I think she was inebriated. She coming in and I understand she wanted this, but I was telling her we ain't got it. It's like you can't go somewhere and have an expectation for something and then you go become a spoiled brat. That's what it's like a lot of entitlement with that when you don't get it. But I can see if it's a car, it's a house, or something. I've purchased things where, yeah, I can fuss about, I can nitpick about this, gonna be with it for the rest of my life. But I've seen people really make a scene out of something when it's absolutely unnecessary. So that's something I learned from, and yeah, it's just grow from. We grow from. But we're gonna touch on our next topic. Um, who do you believe is a good representation of America? Not anyone you know personally per se, but let's say someone that if you can think of a celebrity or an artist, a politician, someone that you've seen on television in the recent years, they would say I believe they're a good representation of what America should be. Do you have anybody? Yeah, no sound detected. TikTok because I got quiet.
Can it be dead or alive?
No, we want somebody alive.
Well, then I got to go back to the drawing board.
I know. I know Nigel's mama. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. That's why I'm asking this question. Who do you believe? Who would you choose that like you would sit down with your family, your elders, your children, the youth, and like this person is a good representation of this country? Who do you have? Somebody from social media will count too. Who would you say? It's crazy how quiet we are. And that's something to think about. And we can slide up. I'm not even gonna give my response. I'm gonna let people think about it. And it's okay not to have the answer. That's something to learn. But I want y'all to share that question. Who do you believe is a good representation of America? Who would you choose? Who would you pick? I'll come back next Sunday and we can get the answer if we can think about it if y'all want to return. But yeah, no, tomorrow's Martin Luther King holiday. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. We wouldn't have it. We had to fight to have this holiday. And shoot, the way things go in this America, they could try to take it away from us in the next year or two. So how are you gonna try to remember, a TikTok video, going to a march, checking on someone, volunteering, just volunteering period. Where would you like to volunteer? But how are you gonna give back to the community? If we take their lives, like who do we have that you feel like, yeah, I believe they're good for this country. And I believe if I had somebody speak up for me, I trust in them. That's what I want to know. That's our homework for the week. Okay. but y'all, I want to say thank y'all for coming through this Sunday. Thank y'all for joining the conversation. I want to say see y'all next Sunday. If guys do the same, y'all have a good holiday. Y'all be safe. Hold on, our community is having a 2.5, I'm assuming, mile march. And then we're having a program afterwards. That's what I'm talking about. Get some cookies and some juice. I know y'all gonna be eating afterwards too. Love it, love it, love it. But this is what it takes. Take pictures, take videos, share it with us. Why is this holiday important to you? Not just being off for the day too. Let's remember that. Hold on, we're having it at the last school that was desegregated here in town in 1975. Damn. Well, hold on, what town you representing, Nigel Mama? Let us know. What city? I want to say you from the Carolinas, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm. What? You in Texas? You and Brian? Shut up. I did not know that. Is that the only college station I know of, Bryan College Station? Oh, Louisiana. Though. Okay, good. Be careful down there. We'll talk about that on another live. Okay. Well, yeah, but all places you at, I'm glad y'all doing that. But okay, but we appreciate y'all for coming through. Yeah, I know what Texas. I know what this is. I know what that is. I don't like driving through there. But thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody that joined on YouTube. Everybody join on Facebook. Everybody here on TikTok. Thank y'all for coming through. We'll see y'all later. Peace. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Let me end the stream.